Hello everyone, this is Miss Mary Ann from the Middlesex County Public Library, and we are so excited that we have started our summer reading program. The theme this year is Imagine Your Story, and we're going to be talking today about fairy tales. I'm sure you know lots of fairy tales. Today's story is for rising second graders through rising fifth grade. And the story that we'll be reading is Rumpelstiltskin. This story is retold by Paul Galdone. Rumpelstiltskin. Once upon a time, there was a poor miller whose only treasure was his beautiful daughter. Now it happened that the miller had to go on an errand to the king. The miller wanted to make himself appear important, so he said, "I have a daughter who can spin straw into gold." "That is a marvelous art," replied the king. "If your daughter is as clever as you say, bring her to my palace tomorrow, and I will put her to a test." When the king said that, the miller regretted his boast, but he knew he must obey the king's command. As soon as the miller's daughter arrived at the palace, the king took her to a room which was full of straw. He gave her a spinning wheel and some bobbins, and he said, "Now set to work, and if by dawn tomorrow you have not spun the straw into gold, you must die." He locked the door, and he left the miller's daughter alone in the room. There she sat, for she had no idea how straw could be spun into gold. As the hours passed, she grew more and more frightened, and at last she began to weep. All at once, the door opened, and in came a little man. "Good evening," he said. "Why are you crying so?" "Alas," answered the girl, "I have to spin straw into gold, and I do not know how to do it." "What will you give me," said the little man, "if I do it for you?" "My necklace," said the girl. The little man took the necklace, and he seated himself in front of the wheel. Whir, whir, whir it went, and in 3 turns the bobbin was full. He put on another, and whir, 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 the second bobbin was full too. And so it went until dawn, when all the straw was spun, and all the bobbins were full of gold. Then the little man slipped out the door. When the king arrived and saw the gold, he was astonished and delighted, but his heart only became more greedy. He had the miller's daughter taken to a larger room, which was also full of straw. "If you value your life," he said, "you must spin this straw into gold by dawn tomorrow." The miller's daughter looked at the pile of straw, and she began to cry. Just then, the door opened, and the little man appeared again. "What will you give me," said the little man, "if I spin this straw into gold for you?" "The ring on my finger," answered the girl. The little man took the ring, and he began to turn the wheel again. By the next morning, he had spun all the straw into glittering gold. The king rejoiced at the sight, but still he was not satisfied. He had the miller's daughter taken to an even larger room full of straw, and he said, "You must spin this too in the course of a night, and if you succeed, you will be my wife." As he locked the door, he thought, "She may only be a miller's daughter, but I am sure I could not find a richer wife in the whole world." When the girl was alone, the little man came for the third time, and he said, "What will you give me if I spin this straw for you also?" "I have nothing of value left," said the girl. "Then promise me, if you should become queen, to give me your first child." Who knows whether that will ever happen, thought the miller's daughter. So, not knowing how else to help herself, she promised to give the little man what he wanted. Grinning, he sat down at the wheel, and again he spun the straw into gold. When the king came in the morning and saw all that gold, he arranged a grand marriage, and the beautiful girl became the queen. A year later, the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby daughter. She was so happy with the child that she never once thought about the little man. But one day, he suddenly appeared in her room, and he said, "Now give me what you promised." The queen looked horrified and offered the little man all the riches of the kingdom if he would just let her keep the child. But the little man said no. "Something alive is dearer to me than all the treasures in the world." At that, the queen began to sob so loudly that the little man took pity on her. "I will give you 3 days," he said. "If by the end of that time you find out my name, then you shall keep your child." The queen stayed up the whole night, thinking of all the names she had ever heard, and she sent a message out to search far and wide for other names. When the little man came to the palace the next day, the queen began with Casper, Melikor, and Balthazar, and then said all the names she knew, one after the other. But to each one, the little man said, "That is not my name." On the second day, the queen learned the names of everyone living near the palace. And when the little man came again, she selected the most unusual ones. "Perhaps your name is Short Ribs," she said, "or Sheepshanks, or Lace Leg?" But the little man always answered, "That is not my name." On the third day, the messenger returned, and he told the queen, "I have not been able to find a single new name, but as I approached a high mountain at the end of the forest, I saw a little house. Before the house, a fire was burning, and around about the fire, a little man was jumping. He hopped first on one leg and then the other, and he shouted, 'Today I brew, tomorrow I bake, the next day the young queen's child I take. Soon far and wide will spread the fame that Rumpelstiltskin is my name.'" How glad the queen was when she heard the messenger's story. She repeated the name Rumpelstiltskin over and over. Soon afterwards, the little man came in and he asked, "Now, queen, what is my name?" At first she said, "Is it Conrad?" "No." "Is it Harry?" "No." "Then perhaps your name is Rumpelstiltskin?" "The devil told you that! The devil told you that!" cried the little man. And in his rage, he stamped his right foot on the ground so hard that he sank into his waist. Then he stamped his left foot so hard that he disappeared from sight. The earth fell in on top of him, and Rumpelstiltskin was never seen again. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story, and you can come into the library and check this book out and many other fairy tales that we have here. I also have a craft activity kit for everyone that I hope you will come in and get. What we're going to do is we're going to make a spinning wheel, just like Rumpelstiltskin had, but we're going to use markers, orange and yellow, and we are going to color different little slices there. There's a hole in the middle, and you'll have a stick in your activity kit that you can put in, and you can spin the wheel and hopefully turn it into gold. You can also do it this way, or you can take your whole and put it on a whole stick, put it on the ground and spin it around. There will be a picture here, and it'll have coloring directions. And here's the two pieces that'll be in your kit. Also, we have some fun things for you to do. We have a sheet here with the princess and all her clothes, and there's a Rumpelstiltskin. You can color them, cut them out, and you can even try all the different outfits on the miller's daughter that became princess. We also have a word search for you with different stories like Bobbin and Bride, Castle. It's on 2 sheets, all the words. They can be up and down, they can be across, they can also be on the diagonal. So see if you can find all those words. Call the library, let us know you're coming, or you can drop in. The library is open now. And we also are having, we have reading logs for you that you can request, and we do have story hour Tuesdays at the Deltaville Library at 10:30, Wednesdays at Urbana Library at 10:30, and we hope you will join us on those days, weather permitting. We had beautiful days this week, and we enjoyed being outside and listening to stories. Hope you can come next week. See you then. Bye-bye.